Good morning, my dear students. The previous classes already discussed the classifications of conveyor, and today discuss the industrial trucks and vehicles. And basically, this one is the lesson number 10. And industrial vehicles and trucks, when we discuss, then the few concentration or this outline also will be there. And the one is the industrial vehicles and trucks, and the hand trucks, the multiple wheel hand trucks, and the hand lift trucks, and hydraulic lifting mechanisms. And also concentrate to this the industrial vehicles or trucks. The industrial vehicles or trucks is one of the most common group of materials handling equipment used in industry as well as in the day-to-day distribution of goods in warehouse, large storage transports, and depots, etc. And sometimes we can concentrate during to this industrial vehicles, and the different type of goods also will be transferred, and the few concentration we the in or the village places, and the one person will be construct industrial vehicles, and just like the two wheel hand trucks, and this person very easily transfer this materials on place to the another place, and he will be earning much more money for your the requirements, and the for this will be the very low effect will be required to this the transport materials. And when sometimes the different type of small scale industry also will be work this type of labor, and there is the less effort will be required to this type of the two wheel industrial vehicles or the trucks. And the range of the industrial vehicles trucks are generally sub-classified into the two groups, while the one is the unpowered and trucks, and another is the power trucks. And basically the unpowered truck is also called the hand trucks, and basically the hand lift trucks or the hand trucks also will be used to the different places. That's like we can see the each and every places the few types of materials will be movement from this the one place to this the another place, and sometimes we have to concentrate according to your the different the railway station as well as the airport. These hand trucks and the unpowered hand trucks also will be used according to your choices, and sometimes you have to transfer movement your materials, then you have to you always handle this type of hand trucks, and this will be available in your the different airport. That's like the Biswas International Airport. Also the hand trucks also will be available, and the power trucks also is the concentrate, and this will be also available during the soft floor movement of this materials, and there is the some power will be used during to this transfer of materials from this the one place to this the another place. And basically the power tracks also will be the using to the manufacturing unit also. This manufacturing unit the product will be transferred from this the manufacturing places to this the different stacking places, and also the inspection places also will be required to this the transfer this materials, and then we have to concentrate to this the power trucks of when you have to transfer your the materials during to this industry. And these power trucks can be further subdivided into the following three subgroups for convenience and discussion. Basically the power trucks, forklift trucks, and also will be the tractor. And what is the power trucks? And basically the power truck will be concentrated to this the transfer materials required to this the power, that's like electricity, batteries, and this type of power also will be concentrated. And the forklift trucks also this will be equal to this the power also. This is the two forks also will be available during to this the forklift trucks. And tractor also this the required to this the oil or diesel, this is produced to this the power, and also this is the not is the manually transfer this materials during to this the tractor. And another thing is the hand lift trucks or the hand trucks. And the hand trucks are, as the name implies, have no source of motive powers, and these are generally moved manually or are attached to other power. The moving equipments units, the hand trucks, are classified into the three subgroups, and the wheel hand trucks, the multiple wheel hand trucks, and will be the hand lift trucks. And the two-wheel hand trucks, basically we have to concentrate according to this the two-wheel industrial vehicles. Just like the two-wheel hand trucks is the concentrate in the different station, different railway workshop, and also the different manufacturing unit, as like as the packaging industry also will be concentrated is the two-wheel hand trucks also. and basically the few persons also will be available, and this is the there is the no much more skill will be required to the transfer of these materials, but there is the not much more power also will be required during transfer these materials during to this the two wheel hand trucks, and sometimes we have to concentrate this two wheel hand trucks. The two person also will be the handle this equipment, just like the one will be the pulling the sports, another person also the pushing the sports, and this two person is the loading this the much more materials, and there is the not able to transfer this two person, and the same types of materials can be transferred by this the two wheel hand trucks, and these two wheel hand trucks basically the we have to use to this the soft floor, then this will be very easily transfer this material, and also this is have to rough surface, then that this two wheel hand trucks is much more difficult to transfer materials because of the more force also will be required. In our the CL stations you can very easily see this is the two wheel hand trucks, and also the different type of the materials will be transfer from this the nearest market in this the CL markets, and as like the your the different railway stations we can see this the two wheel hand trucks, and the two wheel hand trucks these are generally used to moving unit or unitized loads like bags, barrels, boxes, cartons, bales, cylinder, etc. Can be easily transferred by this by this the two wheel hand trucks by pushing the trucks manually, and basically this will be pushing this trucks manually. Basically it consists of two long handle fixed by a number of crossbars, and basically this type of equipment is the least cost. There is no much more cost also will be required when you have to buy this type of equipment, and there is the one poor man and there is no skill, but this person will be construct this equipment, then this person also very easily the transfer earning some rupees during this the transfer of materials the different railway station, as like as the different the unauthorized places also will the transfer this materials. And another thing is the two long handles fixed by a number of crossbars which from the frame to carry the loads, two wheels mounted on an axle is fixed on far end of this the frame. The two short legs are generally fixed to this the two handles at the other end to allow the hand trucks to stay in a horizontal position during the loading and unloading of trucks. Constructional phases of this the common two wheel hand trucks is the shown in this the figure, and basically the before showing this figure we have to another few things will be required discussion. The two wheel hand trucks mounted on this axle is fixed, and there is the no end frame also, far end frame also will be there, and the two short legs this will be used to generally fixed to the two handles, and the other end the allowed to the hand trucks to stay the horizontal position during this the loading unloading and basically this will be concentrated to the loading unloading times, and sometimes we have to transfer this the short distance will be movement this type of materials very easily, and long distance this will be able to transfer the materials, but during this the soft floor this will be easily available and easily used by this the, and parts of common of two wheel hand trucks also will be given in this one, and you can see that this is the two wheel hand trucks the different parts, and the one will be concentrated to this the handle, and number two this is side rails also will be the here, this is the number two, and the three is the legs, and four is the leg brace. You can see that this is the four, this is the leg brace also will be here, and this is the leg brace, and number five the top cross bar also will be here for the number 5, and the number 6 we have to concentrate is the third cross, and number 6 is the third cross bar, and number 7 the second cross bars also will be here, and the number 7, and the number 8 is the first cross bars, and number 9 is nose will be considered that this will be the nose, and 10 is the axle brace also will be considered to the 10, and 11 is the axle, 12 is the pressed steel wheels, and the 13 is the retaining rails also will be there to the 13, and the axle bracket will be concentrated the 14, and the 15 is the nut bolt and lock washer also will be concentrated to this the 15, and the different varieties of two wheel hand trucks also will be used, and not only the this type of two wheel hand trucks also will be fully concentrated to this the transfer of materials, and sometimes we have to see in the different type of gas cylinders, and just like the different type of bags can be transferred, and this the loading unloading will be required. But this type of the last type of wheel hand tracks will be used during to this the much more difficulties arise during to the short length, and sometimes the road will be narrow, then this up to cannot transfer this type of vehicles to use this materials. And the different varieties of these two-wheel tracks are used based on this the type of loads to handle. And the some of these the which are variants of this the basic designs are given in this figure. The figure indicating these types of load they are used. And the first is you can see the bent nose tracks for bags, and sometimes we have to concentrate the different type of bag is transferred. Okay, different type of bag is transferred, then you have to record to the loading, and during to the fast requirement the bench toes tracks also will be used to this transport this one. And the heavy duty tracks also will be the tracks for boxes and will be concentrated. And sometimes we can concentrate a different type of box, and this box will be handled or transferred this then this will be the difficulties. And during to avoid these difficulties, that this type of two-wheel vehicles also will be two-wheel hand tracks also will be concentrated during to this transfer of box. And another things you have to concentrate during to this during to the single gap handle tracks also will be the used, and the single cylinder tracks also will be concentrated. And different type of the gas cylinder also will be transferred during to this single cylinder tracks also will be used. And the pride tracks also will be concentrated. That these pride tracks will be sometimes we have to concentrate during to this the very small thickness, but the load is very high, and then this type of materials we have to transfer during to this the pride tracks and basically this will be the different type of the two-wheel hand tracks also will be concentrated during to this the transfer of materials from this the one place to this the another place. And another thing is the concentrate during to this the multiple wheel hand tracks, and the multiple wheel hand tracks also will be the much more essential during to this the transfer of materials. Sometimes the few places you have to concentrate the different type of dollies you can see. These tracks is the generally the consist of a platform or frameworks mounted on 3 or 4 or more number of wheels. The track is generally provided with a handle for pushing or pulling the platform. The certain tracks are provided with the no handle or the disable handles. The tracks under these subgroups can be classified the following individual equipments you have to concentrate. And basically the four-wheel hand tracks, the three-wheel hand tracks also will be concentrated. And during to this the three-wheel hand tracks is the much more use in the different railway tracks also will be here. And sometimes these dolly systems will be concentrated when the heavy loaded materials will be transferred during to this the heavy loaded materials. And sometimes we have to see the different type of different the fruits will be transferred, and during to this the near places, then this will be these places you have to putting, and also the on loading on pulling systems also will be concentrated during to these places. And these pulling systems you have to very easily transfer your materials very easily. And this different type of dollies will be used. Basically the different tracks and also the certain tracks are with no handles, and basically there is the no handle will be required. And sometimes we can see the different type of bucket also will be placed on this these four-wheel vehicles or the four-wheel hand tracks. And also this bucket you have to pull, but then your materials will be movement from this the another place. And basically this is the dolly system, and this is the very portable type of equipment, just like the multiple wheel hand tracks and the different type of dollies. And these dollies will be transferred during to this the movement of materials. And again you have to portable, and according to your requirement you have to transfer your by this the dollies. And the dollies, this unit consists of a wooden or metallic low platform or frame of different shapes, rectangular, triangular or circular also will be concentrated during to this the dollies. And size depends on the loads to be carried. and the frame are provided with different numbers of wheels. You can see the different number of wheels. Sometimes you have concentrate to this the three wheels, and the sometimes we have to concentrate to this the four wheels. For this we will be concentrate the different wheels. Just like this is a circular wheels, circulars also will be seen during to this the dollies. These units consist of the wooden or metallic low platform or frame of different shapes, rectangular, triangular or circular and size depending on the load to be carried. The frames are provided with different numbers of wheels, fixed and or swivel caster types. The no handle is provided, and these are moved by this pushing the loads as well. Some different designs dollies also will be concentrated to this. And basically we can already discuss the different load also will be putting on these dollies, and again you have to the self pushing, that there is the no excess movement also will be concentrated, and there is the braking condition will be there, that like the which direction you have to movement this material this dollies, then this you have to control by your hands. Okay, and this will be concentrated. And the platform trucks, this are basically the larger version of the dollies, in which the metallic frames are generally of rectangular shape and produced in many size in lights, medium and heavy for heavy ducty construction. Heavy duty constructions, handle at one or both ends are provided for pushings. There are two basic chassis construction from the point of view of the wheel arrangement. Basically, the platforms, this is the platform trucks also will be concentrated. The heavy duty constructions also will be required during to the platform trucks. And the tilt or balance types which have rigid wheels at the center of the platform and seat of one or two wheels, swivel caster also will be there, and this will be located at two ends of the platforms, permitting menu menu under universality, non-tilt type of where the rigid wheel are not on end at the swivel casters also will be there. And the tilt, basically the tilting will be concentration during to the platform hand trucks, and the platform trucks also is rigid because of the heavy loaded materials also will be transferred during to the platform trucks. And the platform trucks also will be, this is the concentrate according to your the different type of platforms, that's like the railway station, they like the airport also will be concentrated, that this is the platform trucks also will be available, and you have to transfer your materials through using to this the platform trucks. And the non-retail type also will be available, and this will be your platform trucks. And the hand lift trucks also will be available. The hand lift trucks, those hand trucks are provided with the mechanism of lifting its platform, which can be rolled or rolled under a pallet or skid size, and so will be concentrated. And basically the hand lift trucks are the provide the mechanism of this the lifting its the platform. This is the can be rolled under the pallet or skids, and basically this will be the movement during to the rolls, skids and pallets, and it's to lift the pallet or skids with the load to clear the ground, and then moves these loads from the one place to the another place. Depending on the lifting mechanism, these are grouped into the hydraulic or this mechanical types. Hand lift trucks are widely used in small, the medium size manufacturing industries using the pallet, skid or the container also will be required during to the hand lift trucks. And the hand lift trucks also, the lifting mechanism also will be concentration, and this is the hand lift truck. This will be required to this the lifting and drawing, and the lifting of this the materials to this the, sometimes you can see the this is the very difficult to lift this materials by this manually load will be applied, or this then you have to concentration during the few required to this the hand lift trucks, and this is the very easily lifting on these materials, and there is the no difficulties arise during to this the lifting of this the materials. And for this is the very was essential for the lifting of materials, and this is the using to this the hand lift trucks according to this the different and another thing will be that this is the hydraulic systems will be required to this the lifting of materials, and the hydraulic systems this is the hydraulic force also will be applied, and this is the then you have to very easily the loading condition also will be there, and this is the lifting is the very easily during to this the hydraulic or this the mechanical types of this hand lift trucks. We have to concentration to this the sizing and also the transfer of materials during to the, and sometimes we have to concentrate to this the different type of containers also will be there, and the hydraulic lifting mechanism also will be concentrate. The hydraulic lifting mechanisms this consist of a hydraulic ram, the single acting cylinders also will be here, and an oil storage vessels and a plumber pump plunger pump also will be concentrated during to this the hydraulic lifting mechanism also. The this handle of the trucks is the connected to the plunger, and this plunger this will be concentrated to this the uploading, and the sometimes we have to the raising your materials to this the upward direction, and basically the bulky type of materials we have to record to this the uploading, and sometimes the bulky type of materials you have to record to this the upward direction. Vertical movement also will be concentration. Then this vertical movement will be done by this the hydraulic lifting mechanism also, and this is the different plunger of the pump through the suitable mechanism also will be concentrated during to this the bulky type, and the on bulky type, and there is the different size. This is the not easy to handle this materials to this type size of particles can be movement to this the upward direction by this the hydraulic mechanism, hydraulic lifting mechanism also. This handle of trucks is connected to the plunger of the pump through suitable mechanism such that when the handle is moved up and down, the pump force a certain quantity of oil into the ram, which through the suitable leakage mechanism raise the platform with the loads, and basically this hydraulic fluid also will be used during to the hydraulic lifting mechanism. Then you have to concentrate to this the leakage leakage also we can see that there is no leakage will be concentrated, and also the different link edge mechanism also will be concentrated during to this the movement of materials, and on link to this the another link is connected by this such way, and there is a pulling some force, and also the hydraulic hydraulic pressure also will be there, and during to this the hydraulic pressure your ram plunger also will be movement to this the upward direction, and also you have to lifting your materials very easily, and this platform with loads. The capacity range of hydraulic hand lift trucks vary between the half tons to the 10 tons, and basically the 10 tons type of materials cannot be transferred by this manually, and also the two wheel hand trucks, and just like the multiple wheel hand trucks, this will be difficult, and during the this type of materials will be lifting by using the hydraulic lift mechanism also will be essential, and this platform is lowered by this the releasing of the flow control valve to allow the pulverized oil to go back to the tank, and you can concentrate. Sometimes you have to give in some pressure, then you have the pulverized type of oil to record to this the go back to this the tank, and the ram is strict retractive by the load itself, and the ram will be there, and this ram will be required to this the vertical movement to this the upward and the downward direction, and this ram will be concentrated to this the upward direction. Then this your your materials also will be required to this the upload to this the vertical movement to this the upward directions, and also the your ram will be go to this the downward direction. Then your materials also will be concentrated to this the downward direction, and this will be concentrated according to this the ram and also the plunger of this the hydraulic lifting mechanism, and also the pump also will be required through the oil will be supplied to this to your requirements, and this will be during to this hydraulic lifting mechanisms your materials handling process will be much more easier, but the hydraulic lifting mechanism also the very costly, and this is the not the least cost of materials during to the according to the two wheel hand trucks and also the multiple wheel hand trucks. This the cost is the much more different from this the two wheel hand trucks to this the hydraulic lifting mechanisms. And another thing, the mechanical lifting mechanism also will be the concentrate. The mechanical lifting mechanism, this mechanism is operated by a system of levers. The platform is raised by actuating a handle which is turned, raise a pole that falls into the slot of grooves, lowering the accomplished by releasing the pole. There are single stroke low lifting mechanism also will be concentrate according to this the mechanical lifting mechanism. And you have to concentrate the different type of link also will be connected, and also like the different lever, and you have to put lever is concentrate according to this the low force you have to getting that you have to much more benefit will be available during to the lever system. And also the mechanical systems or the mechanical mechanism, you have to putting the low load, and but you have to easily handle your materials, but there is the no mass oil will be required. There is the only the mechanical force you have to given, because of your system will be concentrated, the different link will be mounted, and one will be connected to this the another links, and you have to putting some force, and then you have to benefited to this the another end. Because of this will be the different type of lever will be available during to this the mechanical mechanisms, and one will be concentrated to this the much more arc. This platform is raised actuating handle which in term there is a pole, that is the slot of groups. Lowering also will be required to this the accomplished by the releasing this pole, and there are single strokes, and the low lifting mechanism also will be included during to this the systems. And capacity of mechanical hand lift trucks, mechanical hand lift trucks also will be available according to this the mechanical lifting mechanism also will be there. And the hand lift trucks, this will be concentrated during to this the this is the on a lever will be there, and you have to load will be given to this the middle, and wheel will be concentrated to this the forward, and this the two hand also will be concentrated to this the backward direction, and you have to load will be given, and also you have to some pulling force also will be concentrated, and your materials will be very easily handled from this the one place to this the another place. And you have to the both hydraulic and the mechanical hand lift trucks are further classified based on this the general constructional features into the pallet platforms, and also the special types of this the types also will be concentrated. And the hand pallet trucks, a hand pallet trucks is used to, for further handling pallets. It consists of this the two strong built metallic fingers. You have to concentrate, and sometimes we can say that this type of lifting type of the two fork also will be in front of this the systems, and sometimes we have to putting this load on this there, and then your materials will be the vertical movement, the upward movement also will be concentrated. And another things also will be concentrated. The popular got this fork connected at the end of this to give, and basically this will be concentrated. The U shape, the lifting mechanisms is housed at this ends, at the outer ends of this fork. A wheel is powered, which is acts in a according to with the lifting system. And the hydraulic pallets and hydraulic hand plates also tracks also will be here, and this will be pushing some force, and to these places, and your materials also will be movement to the, and this one also will be the according to this leg also will be considered to this the upward, and then there is the very easily movement. There is no difficulties arise during to this the movement of this materials during to this the hand pallet trucks. And the platform lift trucks also will be the available. The platform lift trucks is the similar to a pallet trucks, similar to a pallet trucks. This excepting that instead of this the two fork is it has a platform, and the which can be raised. The platform may be solid or open frame structure also we can see. And the platform lift trucks, and sometimes the according to the different places the record to this the platform lift trucks, the few person cannot be movement one place to this another place, but this type of persons also will be transferred during to this the platform lift trucks. And the platform lift trucks, the not will be the only the heavy loaded materials will be transferred during to this the platform lift trucks. And this platform lift trucks is used to the two fork is available during to this the platform lift trucks. And this is the raise these materials according to the soft floor. And there is the not rough floor also will be concentrated during to the platform lift trucks. And the platform lift trucks, your the materials will be movement according to your the platforms. And there is the no much more power also will be concentrated, and this will be basically concentrated to this the non-power type of materials. And this platform lift trucks is the similar to the pallet trucks, excepting that the instead of two fork it has a platform which can be raised this material. This platform may be solid or open frame structure also will be concentrated during to this the movement of materials during to this the platforms. And also the different frame structure also will be concentrated during to this the platform lift trucks. These trucks are generally used with the skids. And this trucks is a very easily transferred during to this the different type of skids also will be concentrated during to this the platform lift trucks. And this skid with the support of this skids, the this platform lift trucks, your materials can be easily handled during to this the platforms. And the load capacity and the normal size of standard trucks of this kind vary within range and the half tons to the 3 tons. And this platform lift trucks cannot be movement the more than 3 tons. Basically, this is the low powering capacity, and this is the not higher power. Higher loaded materials can be transferred during according to your the according to your hydraulic system. But basically this will be the platform lift trucks is basically not will be the hydraulic system, and this is the unpower is concentrated during to this the platform lift trucks. And this platform lift trucks we have to concentrate the half ton to the 3 tons. This is the manually effort will be given to this the platform lift trucks. And there is the non power will be required, and 450 millimeter to 650 millimeter width also will be concentrated, and 750 millimeter to on 1800 millimeter length and lift height from this the 150 millimeter to the higher value also will be concentrated during to this the platform lift trucks will be concentrated. And basically we have to concentrate this is the two fork will be mounted to this the platform lift trucks. And during to this the fork will be movement your materials very easily to this the rising this vertical height, and also this will be required to this lowering to this vertical height. And the frame structure will be available, and the platform lift trucks will be not concentrated to this the power, and this will be the manually will be transferred for this is the not much more materials will be transferred during to this the platform lift trucks. And another things the next classes we can discuss to this the power trucks. And my dear friends, thank you.